Having done all that, then I start my chiropractic exam. I always start at the TMJ. The horses can get their TMJ thrown out of alignment very easily. The jaw is a long lever, and then we add the shank on your bridle, which is another lever, and then we add reins, which is a third lever, and then we have the rider's arms, which is a fourth lever. So the stresses on this TMJ they increase exponentially as you go from lever to lever. His TMJ seems to be just fine. And then I come up here between the mandible and his first cervical vertebrae, and there should be an equidistance on both sides. If not, then this first cervical vertebrae has rotated one way or the other. Now the spaces seem to be equal, but I still always take him through range of motion. Can he flex that way? Holiness. Can I get him to bend that way? Yep. Can I get him to bend this way? Yep. Can I get him to extend easily? Can I get him to flex easily? So there doesn't appear to be any restriction in range of motion at C0, C1. So then I go from C1 to C2. And what I'm feeling for is I place my hand in between the vertebral segments and I ask the horse to flex. And if the vertebrae are flexing correctly, that region that I have my hand on will cave away. If I have my hand on that and I ask him to flex to me and it stays locked, that means he's locked up in that area. Now I'm going to check his knee. Nothing there. And then I'm going to ask for shoulder extension. And what I'm watching for is this joint right here. And I want to see decoaptation to where he'll show me that he can open that. Perfect. Up at your cranial cervical vertebrae, he's not paying any attention to me. I get down here to about C5, I get a reaction. I get to C6, I get an extreme reaction. The cranial aspect of the scapula and the caudal aspect of the scapula. So again, that can be several things. It can be C5, C6, C7, it can be T1, or it can be the shoulder. So you just start ruling them out. But I always go right back to the top and start again for a sense of completion. So C1, C0's good. C2, C3's good. 3, 4, 4, 5. I'm down to 5, 6. And that adjusted. So we can go back now with our needle cap. I always start at the beginning rather than just diving into the sore spot, because you can create a sore spot anywhere on this horse if I want. Okay, so you have to know where he reacted before. Not so much. Okay, so then let's go to the cranial aspect of the shoulder. Still a little something there. Still a little something there. So I'm going to try to dig down and get to C7T1, which is the first rib. And in these dressage horses, the first rib, for many, many years we were told as chiropractors we couldn't get to this area. But then I studied under a German osteopath, and he taught me how to get down here to the first rib. And it's just been such a gem in my practice to finally be able to know that, because I don't know how many first ribs I missed over the last decade by not knowing how to address T1. Okay, so we've cleared this area. We've adjusted T1. And the shoulder reactivity seems to go away. Now, why C7 and T1 will manifest itself, especially in a dressage horse where they have to have such gorgeous forward phase of a stride, is that here's your shoulder joint, just medial to that is C7, and just medial to that is T1. So if any of the medial structures are locked, it'll manifest itself as a shoulder restriction. And we can work the shoulder, work the shoulder, work the shoulder, but if we never work the structures inside the shoulder, it'll just keep coming back. I don't think he has a shoulder out, but I'm going to check it anyway. Okay, again, I'm looking for decoaptation up here in the scapulohumeral joint.
Yeah, see it.
There we go. Got a little lick in a chew, so there was a restriction there, but I think this shoulder restriction was tied to the fixation of C7 and C6 and T1. When I go back over my points, I watch their eye to see if they're paying any attention to me.